All right, in this tutorial, we're going to learn a little bit about how to use Adobe Rush. Again, I just learned how to use this program, so I am certainly not an expert in it, but I know enough to kind of get you started. As with everything, there's some ups and downs to each program. iMovie is a little bit more limited in its features, the robustness of its features, I guess you could say, but iMovie also allows you to easily bring in outside music that you've downloaded from the internet, whereas Rush, it takes a little bit more finesse, and there's no way to directly access the files on your iPad. So let's just take a look at the basics here. All right, so again, I'm going to go to Premiere Rush, which is this RU. It should be in the self-service app in your iPad. You can download it. Now, the one thing you want to make sure is when you are working with Adobe Rush is that on my account here, you are signing in with your Adobe ID that you have. Remember, that is your school email address and your ID number. Make sure that you're using your school address. And the great thing about this is that it will now sync with the cloud. So if you are using Adobe Premiere Pro on a computer, you can import your Rush files into that Pro, and you could use them as well. Again, which is a little bit of a tricky operation, but if you look at some YouTube tutorials, or I might be able to also help you out with that a little bit later. So anyways, so let's look at that. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new project here, either the plus at the bottom or the create a new project in the middle. It's going to ask me to look at my camera roll. Those were some sample videos that somebody put in there. These are the videos that I have here. I'm going to select some videos. Now, if I select everything like this, it's going to throw all of these things into my project just as they are. So maybe what you might do is if you want to come back and get the other ones later, you can, and replace them in there, like if you have a lot of different video clips. So I'm just going to select one as sort of like my base or my foundation here. On the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see it says Sync with Creative Cloud. It's checked. That's great because I do want that to sync with my other properties. Now, if you have audio that's in your playlist, albums that you have, all that stuff. I just have the crummy U2 album that came with my iTunes. But then Rush Soundtracks has some preloaded sounds in here, some music, if you wanted to do something like that. This is where I was saying you would definitely have to use something that they had already put in here. So I'm just going to choose that one. And I'm going to say Create. All right, so it takes a second. And then here we go. I can see I have my first video right here, and then I have that Temple of the Moon all the way across the bottom here. And again, it's going to put the full file in here. That's the nice thing about the audio in here, ironically, though you cannot bring in your own audio from the iPad. You can get the whole audio down here at the bottom, whereas in iMovie, sometimes it brings it in and it just automatically chops it to the length of the video clip that you have right here. So already this is a little bit more like Premiere, like you're used to being used. So here's my clip that I have in here. Like that. Now you could hear it was hissing, right? Right, we just hit sound. So I want to get rid of that hissing sound. So again, just like in iMovie, I can detach the audio. Now if you notice, I'm just using two fingers and I'm pinching this down here at the bottom. So this is allowing me to magnify my picture a little bit. And if I pinch them in the other way, it makes them smaller. All right. If I just hold my finger down on my clip, you can see here it says separate audio, expand audio. So this is the audio for that clip. You can see the blue line under there. If I hold down on it again, oops, I can say separate audio. So now those are separate. And then I just highlight what I want to highlight over here. On the left-hand side, I hit the garbage can, and that audio is gone now. It's muted down here at the bottom. Oops. So now if I go back this way and I play, no hissing, just the audio for that clip. Now I'm not sure. I'll have to figure out why it's gray down here. I don't know if that means you can bring it back later, or if it's just showing you that there was audio and that audio is still missing. I don't know. So all I know is it's just not playing. So this format down here looks a little bit like iMovie, where we see this single channel here and we're sort of floundering around to get this all to fit. Now if I click over here on the left-hand side, you can see I just highlighted this button over here. Now you can see this is more like what we're used to seeing in, what do you call it? In Premiere, we're seeing multiple tracks in multiple places here that we can do this. Now how do I get more clips in here? How do I add my assets in here? On the upper left-hand corner, if I click this thing that looks like a file box, these are my project assets that I have here. You can see I have my audio, my Temple of the Moon audio here. I have image 0169, which is my movie. And then that sequence 01 is like the project file in, if you remember from Final Cut or whatever, that is not an individual movie. That represents the whole sequence of events that's happening down in your timeline. So again, don't worry about it, just don't delete it. So if you want to add something, I'm going to go to the plus right above that file box. I can capture a video live with my camera. I just have to allow it access to my camera, right? And again, if you're taking your video, hold your finger down so that your iPad locks. Oops, having a little trouble there. So that your iPad locks its focus. No, it's not going to do that with this one. Interesting. So, again, I see there's an auto and a pro switch here. Maybe this is our focus lock down here. There we go. Again, you can mess with that a little bit. You can also, what I would recommend is, again, maybe just taking those videos before you get to your video, like to just take them with your regular iPad. Again, I can hit plus, I can put a title in there, I can use media, which is that my camera roll here. So I can get back to my images here. So I'm going to select this one and this one. And I'm going to say add down here at the bottom, preparing my media. There it is. So if I go back to my file box, I can see that I added those 2 other pictures in there. And I can also just do a voiceover. So again, if I set my, if I set my playhead up at the right spot here and I want to do a voiceover, I can talk over this video here and I can narrate what's happening on it too if I want to do my script later, which is kind of cool. All right, so you can see here as I added my media, it's just dumping them in here. Again, if I don't want it in this particular spot, I can just hold my finger on it and I can drag it. So this is kind of cool. Again, I can stack them, I can layer them, I can put them in a different order, I can overlap them, like so. Let's see if this guy will go right in the middle. It did. Perfect. So then I can have this stuff playing here as it goes, which is fine. Again, I might want to detach this audio here, separate audio here, separate audio there. All right, so that's just the basics of it. And again, just like an iMovie, when the sides of your window are fat here, you can drag them larger or smaller. You can do all sorts of things. I can grab this temple of the moon if I want this to play over the whole thing, and I can bring it down here at the bottom. I'm going to hide my assets window here for now, and I'm going to shrink this down so I can see what I'm doing. All right, tap on that. Be patient. There we go. And you just have to sort of hold your finger on it for a second. Now I could go all the way down to the end here. I'm not sure if there is here's the trimming one. So I just hit the scissors over here, and that allows me to trim that bit of the picture. So again, all I did was I selected what I wanted. I put the playhead where I needed it to be, and I hit the scissors over here on the left-hand side, and it trimmed whatever was active on the thing there. And if I wanted to undo it, I could undo that trim. Here I click on the picture and I say I want to trim this video here. There we go. I just click that video and then hit the trash can. It gets rid of whatever I just clipped off the end there. So again, it's sort of intuitive. You can mess around with it. If you need to see the video a little bigger, there's a 2-bar button over here you can drag up and down like that so you can see as well. Here I can collapse the audio, like if I don't need to see that audio anymore from my video clips there, since I erased it. There's a duplicate button here, and then there's the trash button over on the left-hand side. So that's pretty much it for that. And then over here on the right-hand side, this is where I have like my my titles. So again, the cool thing about the title is I just select the title that I want, and I can drag it wherever I want to. So this is a little bit easier, I feel like, to use than iMovie. Oops. Again, don't get frustrated as you drag your finger over there. I'm going to click on the words up here. Here's my edit, the word title. So here's all the stuff I can change: the color, the shadow, the outline, the character spacing, all that other good stuff here. There we go. I double click on the words there, and I'm going to move this around a little bit here. There we go. I'm just using my finger to move that cursor around. And I'm going to say closet again, the famous closet movie that's sweeping the nation, just like so. I'm going to hide that keyboard. So now I have my title that says closet on it, just like that. There are transitions up here. So these are transitions: none, cross dissolve, dip to black, all that sort of stuff. So if I take dip to black, let's see if I can dip that to black at the end. And I'm going to dip this to black at the beginning. Well, let me start that way. Let's see. This video is terrible. Here we go. So dip to black at the end. I got to get rid of this. Let me trash this audio here because it is just background noise. Again, let me see if I can dip to black at the beginning. There we go. Did it go? There we go. So it's going to dip from black. So this way I'm going to have it fade in. There we go. Again, thinking just about my transitions and those simple things as they sort of go. Just like so. All right. Then if I click on my audio clip down here, you can see the different things light up on the right-hand side. This is my audio. Here's my advanced. I can mess with the audio a little bit over here. Here's the timing of my clip. I can slow it down or speed it up. And then these are some built-in presets. If I do, like this one here, you can see these highlight. I can do the matrix. Let's do this one. We'll do this annoying one here, and we'll do noir over here. So there's my 3 clips there of my closet. That's about it, really. Transitions. I'm going to close those windows down here. I'm going to tap that window so it closes like that. And that's my video, just like so. All right, super easy to use. And again, as you work with it more. So I'm going to go back to my home here for a second. And see where it says Untitled? If I click on the drop downs here, I can rename it. And I can call it Closet, and I'll call this one Closet Rush. There we go. So I can see that it renamed it over here. I can see that icon with a little phone, and the cloud shows it's going to clouds. So then I click on my project here, it opens it up, and I click on Share. I say I'm going to leave quality settings. I'm going to say Export. I'm just going to leave it because it's going to do the quality all on its own. So we're just going to render that sucker out. Just like so. I'm waiting. Perfect. All right, save to camera roll, it says down here, which is great. So I'm going to close that window. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to my camera roll. I'm going to look for Closet 2, which I believe is this one. There it is. Perfect. Oh, I have my audio muted. Here we go. Awesome. So then I'm going to go to my up arrow. I'm going to say Drive. I'm going to say Select Folder. I'm going to say My Drive again. I'm going to say My Broadcast Media. I'm going to say 2019. I'm going to say eDay Materials Resources. I'm going to say eDay Broadcast. And I'm going to say Save here. I'm going to say Upload. And it should be in there. All right, that's all you got to do. So good luck to you. Whether you choose to use iMovie or Rush, both are pretty similar and both should be pretty successful. All right, good luck. Take